Elton John and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road on BBC Radio Oxford. All right, it's 22 minutes to 4. And of course, it's Friday, which means one thing. It's when the new movies come out, isn't it? So it is time, of course, now to catch up with our movie critic, Van Connor, who comes on the show every Friday just to peruse some of the new movies that are out at the moment and, of course, give his very honest opinion on what he thinks of them. Welcome back to the show, Van Connor. Good afternoon.
Always a pleasure, Mr. Bull. Congratulations. I saw the radio figures for this week, so I hear we're doing well.
Yeah, not too bad, Van. It's all down to you, of course. I mean, that's of course the main thing.
It's all about the hand steering the ship, clearly, and I'm just here to honestly peruse things, according to you. So should we peruse Puss in Boots, which is the second instalment of this sort of Shrek spin-off series. I think we had the first Puss in Boots movie. I think was 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
I want to say it was about 2011. Yeah, and itself followed, I think, on the back of 4 Shrek movies. So you had Shrek, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, Shrek Forever After, then Puss in Boots. Now Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, which is in cinemas from today. And I'm just going to tell you straight off the bat, is the second best Shrek movie. No joke. It's the second best one. Or at the very least, it's tied with Shrek Forever After. So the idea here is Puss in Boots, as voiced by Antonio Banderas, as this sort of kind of Zorro with fur, I think we've sort of reclassified him now, comes face to face with the literal embodiment of death, which, because this is the Shrek universe, is presented as a wolf, and is told, because he's used up 8 of his lives and he's down to his last life, that death has come to take his soul. However, Puss in Boots has other ideas and teams up with an old flame voiced by Salma Hayek. I almost say Sandra Bullock. Salma Hayek, who literally plays a character named Kitty, and a small puppy named Pedito, who's voiced by Harvey Guillen from What We Do in the Shadows, one of my favorite TV shows. And they set off in search of the mythical Last Wish, which he intends to use to restore all of his lost lives. And the only thing they have to go on is a map that basically changes the journey for you based on how dark your intentions are along the way. Ooh. So imagine what happens when this map falls into the hands of someone as genuinely corruptible as Puss in Boots. And you can have a listen for yourself in this clip.
Whoa.
Wow. For a dark forest, this place is pretty colorful. I wish I had my quinceañera here.
The wishing star is in here somewhere. Kitty, may I please see the map?
No.
Seriously? You won't let me hold it for even 1 minute?
Nope. Not even for 1 second.
Come on, Kitty. You've got to trust me.
Wait, what's going on with his eyes? Oh, they're getting bigger. Oh, Kitty! You gotta trust him. Look at those eyes.
Oh, I love these kind of movies because they have jokes for the adults that whiz over the kids' heads. It's all colourful, it's all fun, and I'm glad to hear you say that it's half decent.
Oh, it's such a good time. As if the Desperado reunion of Banderas and Hayek wasn't enough to get you hooked on this.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell this to you in one simple pitch. Goldilocks and the Three Bears are villains in this. Goldilocks is voiced by Florence Pugh, and Mommy and Daddy Bear are Ray Winston and Olivia Colman. That's how good this is. It's got this really cool new animated style that very much sets it apart from the existing Shrek movies. Not your bog standard DreamWorks, by the numbers off the app kind of animation. They've gone for something a bit more stylized. There is a sharpness to the writing that in tandem with that new style of animation they've gone for genuinely gives you something quite thrilling, quite suspenseful. And it's even got one of those brilliant sort of for the young kids chilling villains, like one of those villains that's going to stick with kids for years to come, in the same way that we look back on things like Return to Oz and things like that, be like, oh my god, that terrified me as a child.
Gremlins. That's it for
Gremlins,
me.
Exactly that kind of thing. Those sort of fun scares that you had when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Villain in this is absolutely going to do that for a whole generation of kids, in so much as any generation of kids sees the movie wide these days. But I think this is a smash for me. This is definitely, as I say, second best Shrek movie, or at the very, very least, it's tied for the number 2 spot with Shrek Forever After, which is the only decent Shrek sequel.
Well, there we have it. A top review there. Puss in Boots out in cinemas today, I think, isn't it, Van? That's right.
Yeah, you can see The Last Wish in cinemas from today.
Okay, right. On to the next. Now, this is more of a sort of suspense thriller, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is the new movie written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. So you kind of know what you're in for. As soon as you hear that name, oh, I know. Wow, we're in for some good times here. And this is an adaptation of Paul Tremblay's novel, The Cabin at the End of the World, adapted for the screen here as Knock at the Cabin. It basically presents itself as Dave Bautista leading a group of 4 sort of cultist weirdos who knock on the door of a cabin that's being rented Airbnb style by a young, affluent, urbanite gay couple and their adopted daughter, sort of for the weekend. It's middle of nowhere. They've not got phone signal. There's no internet.
Of course.
They're very isolated. And these 4 strangers, well, they tie them up and they have some demands. Rather than tell you those demands for myself, I'm going to let Mr. Bautista, in a role unlike any you've seen him in before, save for maybe Blade Runner 2049, sum it up for you.
We're not here to hurt you, but you have to stay here in the cabin with us. Families throughout history have been chosen to make this decision. Your family must choose to willingly sacrifice one of the 3 of you to prevent the apocalypse.
We're not sacrificing anyone.
For every no you give us, hundreds of thousands of people are going to die.
It's really happening.
Sweetheart, close your eyes.
Will you make a choice?
Wow, this is definitely one to see in the cinema. While I was just listening to that audio clip, my headphones were vibrating so much my eyelashes fell off. That was big.
Well, so, I mean, a cracking cast in this: Jonathan Groff, Ben Aldridge, Nikki Amuka-Bird, and of course, I've got to single out the brilliant Rupert Grint.
I know, right?
In a very unusual role. Did not expect to see Rupert Grint in there. And I mean, it's a minimal but quite effective turn for our former Hogwarts alum. He makes an impression. I had actually read the book before I saw this, and I will say that as far as adaptations go, this kind of works like a reverse Mist. So if you remember how The Mist, the movie, is kind of better than the book, this unfortunately does go the other way around, where the book is better, but only really for the ending. It is a very effective effort, though, and I do think this is Shyamalan on top form. Having said that, I thought that Old, his previous movie with the families on the beach where the kids start aging really rapidly, I thought that was quite effective and chilling as well. I know that got ragged quite a bit by some snottier critics, but you know what? I like a fun chiller. I'm a Shyamalan fan. You know what I mean? I'm in this for some thrills and a good time, and you're going to get that here. And oh God, is Dave Bautista going to chill you? Like, Dave Bautista is just like a quiet, menacing calm.
Yeah.
Because you know how big the man is. You know how large Dave Bautista is. The man's like the size of a barn, and just to see him with this just quiet, intense, menacing delivery, it chills you to your very core.
The worrying kind.
I really love this. Yeah, absolutely. You've no idea where it's going to go, especially if you've not read the book. Even you've got no idea where this is going to go. Check this out this weekend. It is a banger. It's not quite up to the big 3 Shyamalan movies. The first 3, which I still think they're the best he's come out with today, which is Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs. I think those are still his high watermark, but I do think, and Knock at the Cabin confirms this form. It confirms this feeling for me. I do feel like the best is yet to come with Shyamalan. I do feel like his masterpiece, it's still there.
You think he's going to do something better than The Sixth Sense, really?
I think one day M. Night Shyamalan is going to deliver us his Silence of the Lambs. I genuinely think that's going to happen one day. That man's winning Best Picture one day. You mark my words.
When that happens, I will pay for you to go to the cinema. I'll take you and we'll go and watch it.
Pay for me to go to the Oscars when he gets the Best Picture nomination, please.
I'll sort that. Don't you worry, Van. Don't you worry. So if you do like the sound of that, Knock at the Cabin, it's on my watch list, 100%. It is out in cinemas from today. Thank you very much for your time, Van, and enjoy your weekend. We'll catch up on Friday next week for some more new movies.
We shall indeed, sir. Till the next time.
Have a good one, Van. Right, Lady Blackbird. This is Woman on BBC Radio Oxford now.